something to kick in, and maybe that's why he's delaying. I've got to think that it's probably he was expecting some lurkers or something. We've got a Spire coming up as well, so probably for some Scourge. Maybe going to try and combine some Hydra Muta forces. That is another way of taking down mech that I've seen, is Hydralisk and Mutas. You'd think that the Mutas would just die to the Goliaths, and they do, but they can take a lot of the damage and let those Hydras really get in there and do some damage to the Goliaths, and that's kind of been one of the ways to deal with mechs, one of the unit combinations that has become quite popular. And we've got I don't know, control group and a half of Goliaths pushing out right now. That'd be my guess about that. And it looks like Great's going to try and come around for a little bit of a pincer, but he just doesn't have the forces really to pincer yet. He's got about 2 control groups worth of Hydras, which just really is not quite enough. And I think Canata's kind of confused as to where this new base for Great is. He knows that there has to be a base somewhere there. He knows there's no way Great would allow himself to sit on 2 base versus 2 base and let this happen. And there's that scouting Overlord. You've got to kill that stupid Overlord. Jeez, that's getting all the information on how many factories there are, how many machine shops, how many supply depots, just everything. We got some vultures out as well, and Hydras are trying to go and scout them out, going to try and pick them off, but it doesn't look like they're going to have too much success, especially when Speed just research. But oh, Canata with some bad micro there, a little bit of a misclick, losing one of the vultures as he went on the northern side of that ridge instead of the southern ridge. But he's going to get into this third base, and he's going to be able to take down probably at least a couple of drones here. There's only 2 or 3 drones here to begin with, and it looks like what is there is going to go down. If Canata can micro and finish this drone off, yeah, he does, and he does take out that drone. So that third base has absolutely no mining right now. So it is more or less 2 base on 2 base at this moment. And the vultures kind of are going to make it hard to do a drone transfer. You can't really risk it as a Zerg player to do that drone transfer until you get some semblance of map control, because that is a very long distance, and yeah, vultures are very, very fast, and you got to be very, very careful. We got double upgrades coming out from the machine shop, so that's got to be siege mode, and probably in mines it's got to be just because speed has already been upgraded. And yeah, this is very odd game, I gotta say. Very little action so far in terms of brute force engagements, and the longer you sit here, Great, is the worse this is going to end up for you, because that mechanized force is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. I really wish he had gone for a drop. He had all those speed OVs wandering through Canata's base, getting away with a lot of motion. We got a bunch of mutalisks coming out. If he had been able to get in there, take down some factories, maybe harass some, but take down the armory, stop the Goliath production, anything like that would have been really awesome. And we got Canata trying to push this ramp to get into Great's their base, placing a mine, but some good micro by Great, able to pick off that mine before it would go off. And once again, some good micro, but one vulture does sneak in, and does he have the micro for it? Does Canata have the micro for it? Yes, he does. He actually did remember to come back here, and is going to pick off several drones. It looks like 2 or 3 drones. 3 drones before the Mutalisks come in and pick it off. So we got a mass Goliaths versus mass Hydralisk and mass Mutalisks, and Great's gonna have to do very, very well in his one fight that's gonna be coming up probably in the next minute or 2. He's gonna have one big fight, but now tanks are out. Oh, this could be the elimination. This could be the final nail in the coffin once if those tanks have siege mode, and those Hydras are just not going to get there at all. We got some spider mines out here, and no damage actually. Surprisingly enough, those spider mines did not do any damage. There were enough Hydras and enough Mutalisks to pick them all off before they could go off. I don't know if there was particularly great micro there or anything but great, but just massive numbers that were able to take it down. A couple extra sunken colonies going down at the naturals. Well, for Great, one more sunken colony just isn't going to do very much against this mechanized force. There's too many siege tanks to really hope to do anything in terms of just static defense, unless he thinks that he can swoop in with those mutalisks and take down a lot of those tanks. But that is a lot of mutalisks. That looks like it might actually be more than a control group, because just the way the mutalisks are moving, they don't seem to be all linked together very well. So it looks like this is more than a control group worth of mutalisks, which is a massive, massive investment. That is a huge investment. That's 14 mutalisks. That is 1,400 minerals and 1,400 gas. That is absolutely huge. And we've got another command center coming up for Canata. Going to try and take that base at the top right. And that base is I don't know how to describe it, but needless to say that one of those bases up at the top right has the northernmost. Forget it. There's one of those bases has a gas when it used to not, I believe. Maybe not. I think one of those is one of the ones. There's 3 bases on this map that used to be mineral only that now have gases. One of those at the top right should be one of those, and I believe the one at the 6 o'clock, and then the one at the let's call it the 10 o'clock has a new gas as well. It looks like Canata's finally ready to push out with this big ball. He has made a ball of mechanized forces, and that is just huge. We got +1 upgrade for the attack on Hylos, +1 upgrade on the armor for Mutalisks. and haven't really looked at the upgrades for the mechanized forces, but the mechanized forces are just going to melt all this. Look at all those tanks. There's just nothing. Those Hydras are not going to get in there. They're just going to melt these tanks, and these Mutalisks are not eating enough damage. They can't do enough damage to mech, and they all go down. Pretty much all the Mutalisks are dead. Pretty much most of the Hydralisks are dead. Great is dead. Great is just getting well, we're kind of stomped here right now just by just by playing too passively. He needed to either overexpand or get up to high tech or do some drops or do something do something big. He couldn't. He's just playing this like it's a normal M&M game, and he's just getting rocked. As yeah, there's just too many mechanized forces. These whatever Great has is just going to be completely rolled over. Look at this. There's just nothing left right now for Great. There's half a dozen Hydras, and it looks like a couple Mutalisks. And even that's not really going to last for much longer. Pretty much all the Hydras are dead. One Hydras left. All the Hydras are dead. Just a couple Mutas left. And that is all that really remains of Great's military force. And for some reason, he's going to stay in this game. But he's about to get sieged, and unless he's, I don't know what he thinks he has. Even if he has Defilers, he doesn't have the forces to support it anymore. It's too late, even for that, to hope. It looks like he might have Lurkers. Still, it's just too late. Doesn't matter. Great is gonna be forced to GG any moment now. We'll see how long he can delay. Maybe thinks he can get some sort of a flank counter. Not very likely, but I guess he's gonna go for one last ditch effort. Here comes another batch of Mulas running right into some Goliaths with some Hydralisks in support. Probably going to clean up these these Goliaths that are left. But let's say, for instance, that Canata was wiped off the map. All he really had was a couple supply depots wandering around here and there, and that Great couldn't kill them because they are invincible. He still couldn't win because he can't take on this army for Canata. That's the stage we're at, and Great needs to realize this and just GG, because there's absolutely zero things he can do right now to get back into this game. That force is too big. He allowed it to be macroed up to too high a level, and they are 1-1 upgraded. Probably have the +2 weapons coming up any second now as well. Got some Goliaths going to try and save this command center, and there's GG from Great. So Canada's going to take this first game for SKT1. We're going to be moving on to the second game. It's going to be a great PvP between two great PvPers. It's going to be Stork versus Best on Outsider, and I will see you there in that second set.